Hey, Jorge Estrada, good morning. So today is going to be a little bit of a different video because today I'm really going into a rant. It bothers me and I feel compelled I have to make a video. And it's about the Trump watches. So a few days ago, we learned that he made another licensing deal to put his name on watches. And I do like watches. I like mechanical watches more than anything else. It's the movement that I'm interested in and that fascinates me. But besides that point, I wanted to look it up and I want to learn something about it, what he's doing, technical specifications, and see what's going on. So I go on their website, gettrumpwatches.com, and to me, at the beginning, when I learned about it days ago, there was not much information. So I looked on YouTube to see if there's some YouTube channels out there actually reviewing those watches. And I was not disappointed. There is people out there, self-proclaimed experts, but it's more opinion. And because they're not, nobody has, I believe there's a prototype, and I believe the former president has that. I'm not sure, but they're all made to order, which I later saw on their website. So I looked through a few videos and it bothers me how so-called watch experts, self-proclaimed experts, review those watches and just put their personal opinion in it because they don't like the man, so they automatically have to dislike the product. And instead of being fair and telling their audience, which they have quite a few followers. I mean, they all have more followers than I do, but they don't tell their audience, here's the specifications, make up your own mind. They persuade them basically in disliking the product because they themselves dislike the man. And you don't have to like him. I honestly don't care about it. I don't try to persuade you into liking them. I don't try to change your mind. But I want to give another look into the product, because on the one side you ridicule that product, which there is thousands of manufacturers that do the same thing. So, and here's number one that's very important. Donald Trump is not a watch maker. He's not the designer. He's not the distributor. He's not the manufacturer. He doesn't do that. It's a licensing deal. So that there's people out there already saying, oh, he's a grifter, it's a money laundering scheme, it's this or that. You people are ridiculous. It's a licensing deal. He's doing those since, 30 years now, if not longer? Giving out their name. I mean, you're just mad because nobody wants anything with your name on it. Okay, but he's doing that for decades. So that's one thing. So he gets money from the licensing agreement. He is not bound on design, quality control, manufacturing. That's all the manufacturer. That's all the business he has the agreement with. And if you would have done your homework, and then we're gonna go into that, but if you would have done your homework, you would see who that business is and that they sit in Sheridan, Wyoming. And that you have to, if you have any complaints or any questions, you have to direct it towards that business and not towards Donald Trump. The only thing, and I want to show you some common sense, level-headed, here's the facts, here's the specs, and then make up your own mind if you want to buy it. I mean, that's totally up to you. But it is important to understand that it's a licensing deal. He's not buying inventory, is sitting on it and reselling it. That's not how it works. So I don't know how you want launder money like that or whatever. You might have more experience than I do, because I just don't see it. It's a licensing deal. It's done through attorneys, and that's just that. But let's get over. I'm gonna get on the computer and show you some facts that come from their website, from the business that's responsible for the product, and then compare it, because I have looked it up. People complain about the movement and China and this and that. So let's look into that and actually provide you with something that these so-called experts days ago have not done. I'll see you in the office. Okay, welcome to the office. So here we are on the website gettrumpwatches.com. This is what you see when you come up there. That is the tourbillon that they offer, one model of 3 currently. And if you scroll down, here's also a less expensive option, variant or model, and we get to that later. So I just want to walk you through real quick the facts and what's really going on. Here's a tourbillon, $100,000, pre-order now. So you click on that and you come on that specific website or a specific page for the tourbillon. You see another model here. You scroll down, you see 3 options: black dial, gold dial, and a whole yellow or rose gold model. They are bejeweled on the outside. People call it iced out or whatever they want to call it. Nothing uncommon, has been done before plenty of times. People like it or you don't. My personal thing is I'm not a fan of it because it's too much. But again, it's nothing out of the ordinary. So 147 pieces are made. Designed for the president. I believe he has that prototype. Says here almost entirely made out of, okay, the case and the bracelet, and decorated with 122 VS1 diamonds. So if you scroll down, because people here already said, I don't trust that gold amount that's in there, and those jewels are or the diamonds are probably fake. Well, here's the thing. It's I bet money they're lab grown. Which is a common practice. You have to really specify what you want if you go into a jewelry store, if you want to drop that kind of money, because I'm willing to say that 90% is that we see in the market today is lab grown. And it says down here, every diamond is VS1 G plus rated. So go look it up and see what that all entails. And from now on, you just have to assume that they are real until somebody gets a watch like that and actually tests them. But I kind of doubt that this is going to happen. So I'm pretty sure you get a certificate that comes with it, but I don't know. We get to that business that runs that later. And this is where you all need to put the questions. And it's Trump, again, is not the designer. He's not sourcing the raw materials. He's not manufacturing it, and he is not distributing it. That is all a third party. It's a licensing agreement. This guy who runs that show here is allowed to use the Trump name, is allowed to use his picture and his signature. And that's end of story. Here's the backside. Here's the movement that people already say, oh, blue screws, it's got to be Chinese because they don't look like heat treated. That's all fake and yada, yada, yada. And again, if people would have done their homework, they would have never said that because it makes them look ignorant real quick. But again, it's, so-called experts are the worst. If you go to court as an expert witness, you don't say I'm an expert. It's you get classified as an expert witness because of your experience, because of stuff in the past that you have done. You don't just declare yourself an expert. So it's with everything like that. So that's the backside. Here they show the tourbillon. They call it the caliber TX07. It sounds cool, but what is it? So we'll get to it in a minute. Says 105-hour power reserve, which is awesome. It's a lot of power reserve. So it's like all weekend you don't have to worry about nothing. You just put it up and, next week you put it back on. And it still works. But it is a manual movement, so you still have to wind it at some point. It doesn't wind automatically. So I guess you can have here what do you call it, a customized greeting, and then you also get a second case back, which is pretty cool because you can change it out whatever if you liked it or not. I have never seen that before, that you get a watch with 2 case backs. I think it's pretty cool. It's a little bit extra that others don't offer. So, might be something. Here's just another overview. Here's the specs, if you care. Power reserve, frequency, jewels, movement, diameter, thickness, mainspring, torque. Okay, I don't know if the collector really worries about that. If you even wear it every day. I don't know if you worry about that, but it's pretty interesting to know. So what happened with the movement? I want to go back there because people complain, oh, Chinese and this and that. So again, if people would have done their homework and they would have researched a little bit, they would have come across Caliber Corner. And I love this website. I've learned so much. I'm no means an expert. I mean, I maybe qualify as an enthusiast because I like mechanical things. But they have actually a nice write-up talking about that movement. And people say Chinese made and it's not Swiss made and he's a liar and grifter and misleading people and just stealing their money. Again, if you pay $100,000, you're not paying $100,000 to Donald J. Trump. You pay $100,000 to that business that we go back to, and they actually, this is made to order. So you give them $100,000 and they start building the watch. You have to take it up with them and not the former president. So here's all the specs that they could find. Country of manufacture, Switzerland. Well, where would they get this from, right? Especially, would they lie if that was made in China? I doubt it. So you just go further and read. And it's a hand-wound tourbillon, 19 jewels, all the good stuff. There's manual calibers out there, watches that cost more. And it's really something. I like manual wound. I don't want to call it easy and simple because people equate that to cheap, but it's just it simplifies stuff, and I like it. It's personal preference, but here we go. Now this is what I really like. They have done their research. TX07 appears to be based on the BCP Tourbillon SA. Framework by French watchmaker Olivier Maury. And it also seems like, look, they have pulled up a Bremont caliber, which it appears using the same base caliber. Well, dang it, right? Is that made in China? No, it's not. This is a Swiss-made movement. And it also says below is a comparison to the Bremont caliber 9130, which uses a BCP pace. And then if you go further, it explains the tourbillon. It says, for the dial side, excuse me, getting too excited. The tourbillon bridge is very similar to the design of the Delma DT100.01. So, dang, now you go again, Caliber Corner, you go look into the Delma. Starts up here. I'm sorry for all the scrolling. I don't know how to integrate that, so I actually filmed this on the phone. So you click into here, the Delma, and it's also Swiss made. And you scroll further and look at that. It looks very, very similar. And then you look on the dial side and you see here the tourbillon, how it's all set up. And it's also Swiss made. So I guess people came together and actually used the... Oh my God, is that blue screws? I don't know. It looks blue to me. People are really quick on putting out a lot of misinformation, a lot of false nonsense because they don't like the man or the woman or the person in general behind it. But you gotta stick with the facts. If they have a good product, then they have a good product. It's just, 99% nobody wants anything with your name on it. So I can see that people are getting mad. But here it is. It's the Delma tourbillon and Swiss made. So this is what I want to tell you about the movement. It is in fact Swiss made. And now here also people say here down here it says, I don't know if you can see it on the left side, the bottom of the dial says Swiss made, and people cry about it, say it's not true. Well, again, if you would have and say, well, they say it's probably made in China. Well, here's the thing. It's a two-parter. Part one is if you, again, would do your homework and go here on the Swiss Federation of the Watch Industry, you see down here that the criteria is
a minimum rate of Swiss value of 60%. 60% of your value of the product have to be Swiss made. Now, if you want to all categorize that and see exactly how much goes where and what and how and for how long, you have to take it up with that federation, inquire and ask how, if you dissect that, how that would all work. But it's not 50%, it's not 100%. I get back to the 100% in a second, but or at the end of the video. But the minimum rate is a value of 60% of the value of your product, a minimum of 60%. So that's how a lot of people get away, a lot of watchmakers get away with Swiss made, but they are in fact, the case and the bracelet is made in China. They have assembly overseas, outside of Switzerland. It's common practice. Don't get fooled because you want to believe that other brands are so ethical and so honest. And there's even watchmakers calling out watchmakers because they take advantage of it or lie to people all the time. So again, if you want to complain about that, do your homework, dive into it. It's a rabbit hole. And that's why I like Moser. They even make fun of that and don't even write anything on the dial or their watch, Swiss made or nothing. They sometimes leave even out their name and say over 90%, I believe, is Swiss made, because they say that standard here, the 60% standard, actually should be raised. You know what? I agree with that. You want to charge a premium. You want to charge your customers a premium because it says Swiss made, then adhere to a better standard, because Americans used to build good watches. The Germans are not bad, and the Japanese, they are not bad. We know that. And you know what? Who's up and rising? Is China. Many micro manufacturers of watchmakers. I have one of those micro brands. The case and bracelet is made in China, and you know what? It's good quality. So I honestly would not be surprised if this case is made in China. Oh, look, the crown is even DT. That's funny. Should have made DJT. I would not be surprised if that made is in China. Would not surprise me at all. And you know what? I don't want to say industry standard, but yeah, it's pretty much there. Case and bracelet. And then you have your movement, which is Swiss made, and your dial, maybe, hopefully, and that's it, you know. So that is the expensive one. And here's also something that I want to bring up, because there's a fighter type. This is new. The GMT, when I saw that page the first time, they had 3 models. It was the all gold. See, sold out. I'm telling you, they all will sell out. Believe it or not. It was a gold one, the 2-tone, and it was the stainless steel with the red. Now that red, white, and blue is new, that I just saw like yesterday, and that's a GMT. So, and with these it's the same. They start at $499. And if you look into micro brands, $499, that is a nice entry level. It's a nice amount that a lot of people are willing to pay, and they have an automatic watch. Now, what is in that watch? Here it says, you click on pre-order, go on specifications. So it says here TMI NH35 automatic movement. So it's an automatic movement. It's not a quartz. I appreciate that. I prefer that. But again, people crying, it's a Chinese made movement. Now, go back to Caliber Corner. And again, I apologize for the scrolling. So here's a NH35. And I have actually one in my micro brand. And it is an unbranded Seiko movement. So that's what they sell to other watchmakers that want to use a third-party movement. And it's either Seiko or time module ink, which the TMI stands for, and they are made either in Japan or Malaysia. Now, if you count Malaysia to China, then that's on you, but to me, that's a separate country. So again, false information is just ignorance, it's just spurting out something just because you hate the man. You don't even look into the product. And the product is, okay, a 42 millimeter case, too big for me. I like it smaller. Well, I set my personal preference at 40 millimeter, but again, it's not what I want. So the crystal says here a coated mineral glass. So it's not really sapphire. If they use mineral glass, it's either one or the other. 200 meter water resistance. So it's 20 atmosphere. It's 200 meter water resistance. You see you have crown guards. And I bet money that's a screw-in crown. So you have some water resistance. You can use that every day if you want to. On the back side, you see quick release on your bracelet. It's not an integrated bracelet, so you can switch out that strap and put on whatever the hell you want. You have here a unidirectional bezel, so it's a functional bezel that you can use. I wish they would have a loom shot, but I'm pretty sure that there you see there's loom in there. Bezel, the 12, everything is illuminated. There is no, you cannot complain about that. Thickness 12.5 millimeter. Yeah, it wears a little thick, and 42 wears a little big. Wish they had the lug to lug measurement in there. Might be really wearing smaller than it is. But again, it's a Japanese or Malaysian made movement, which is a workhorse. It's the Seiko 35, NH35, 36, even the 34, the GMT movement. It's a workhorse. Mine runs strong and doesn't need anything. All that $4.99. This is a fair price for the product that you get. Now, if you like this red and Trump and the signature, that's totally up to you. But again, if you go look around at other micro brands, those small manufacturers, they use a Chinese-made case all the time. They use a Seiko, TMI, all these products all the time. And some charge way more than $4.99. So, you know, just because, again, you don't like the name, that's fine. But then you have a different watchmaker, a different brand. I mean, remember, until 2004, Rolex wasn't even a watchmaker. They also used third-party movements. Nobody cared. They're still getting a hard on for putting the name on a wait list, which it's ridiculous. But, you know, they're willing to spend money there, but then want to criticize others when they're, even those higher dollars brands, products, they make their movement, not their movements, their case and bracelet, and a lot of them make it in China. And they will never tell you because, you know, at the end of the day, they want to slap Swiss made on it, which here is not on this watch. So they're not trying to deceive you. They're not trying to lie to you. It's not Swiss made. So that is probably assembled somewhere overseas. And again, I don't have an issue with that because it doesn't deceive you and it's $4.99. Again, a lot of other micro brands do that. And that's just what it is. And if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. But I do think that because of the rarity, I think they will sell out. And this one, at least, $4.99 is a fair price for what you get in today's watch market. You know, and they're highly limited. So I'm not saying it's an investment. I'm not saying they go up in value. They might not. I don't know. This is a nice picture. But this is just what it is, you know, and those are the facts, and they're right here. And then you can look up at technical pages like Caliber Corner. You can get the information right here if you want to. You know how to find information. You use the same internet that I do. And that's just people, again, it's your responsibility. Find out what you really want, what's really going on before you open your mouth. And back to the point, to the tourbillon, because people say, $100,000 is ridiculous. Well, again, we have, for that money, you have plenty of options. I'm not saying the watch is ugly. I'm saying Donald Trump has a very good taste in watches. If you see what he's wearing, Patek, Vacheron, he has a very good taste. I'm surprised that he goes with this embezzle. I mean, he likes gold. I'm surprised he goes with that. It looks for that price a little bit boring. Not saying it's the quality might be really up there. I'm not saying it's a mediocre product. I'm not a watch expert. I don't have one in person to look at. I'm just looking at the design. It looks a little boring to me, but the price, you can, if you're willing to spend $100,000, you don't. If you buy that, you don't buy it because it's such a horological importance. You buy that to support him. You might be a friend, a supporter, and you buy that and you either wear it or put it in the safe and just leave it there for the next 10, 20 years. But for that price, you have a gazillion of other options. And without making here advertisement for anyone, if I look at this Moser here and they sell it for $54.9 with a tourbillon, I would prefer that. But that's me, my personal opinion, because again, and it's almost half, a little bit more than half, and then you still have plenty of money left over for other things. So that is to be considered, but that is 100% up to the customer. And there is watchmakers out there, that as well as I do, that $100,000 is nothing. So the amount of money is just one thing, and you get the product. If that is your value, then you buy it, and if you don't have it or if you don't want to spend it, then you don't. But for the fact is, it's because people think it's overpriced and it's fake and this and that. No, it's not, because it's perceived value, right? So of course this business makes a profit, and we're gonna go to the business. But again, Trump only gets money from the licensing deal. So I don't even know how much he makes, if it's based on sales or not, but it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. It's that business took a risk. They signed an agreement, and now they have to deliver. So, and if they don't, you have to hold them accountable. And if they don't deliver, you're going to sue that company and not Donald Trump. So if you scroll all the way down, then you find down here, terms, conditions, FAQs, and privacy, blah, blah, blah. Contact us. Look at that. Here we go. I don't know if you can see it. The company is, okay, it's a little funny. The Best Watches on Earth, LLC. It's 1309 Coffin Avenue in Sheridan, Wyoming. So I Google mapped it. It's on a mall-ish, small strip mall, little different businesses there, big parking lot. So I assume a guy has it could also be a girl. Somebody set up a business there, said, okay, we're going to make watches, we're going to get the Trump name on it, and they're all going to sell out. We make some money, and people are happy. Good, okay, I agree with that. That's, that's capitalism. That is your right to do so. It's a free country. That's capitalism. That's good. That's your freedom. That is what we can do. And if you want to build a product and bring it to market, then more power to you. But this is what it is. And here it says, Trump watches are not designed, manufactured, distributed, sold by Donald J. Trump or the Trump Organization. You can read the fine print down here. So that is a private business, and they do business with. So all the questions about materials, sourcing, where it is manufactured, where is it assembled, where was it designed, that's all you need to direct this towards the Best Watches on Earth, LLC. And if those so-called watch experts would have done a video like that, I would respect them more. But for the fact that they just go out and say, oh, Trump watches and $100,000, and then they put their hand over their face and say, oh my God, what did he do now? Come on, that is just a nonsense video that you get your opinion out, and that's just what it is. So you gave the viewer actually no value. Instead, you found all the haters that put a comment down there. You get your clickbait, you get your what do you call it? You get your participation, and that makes you feel good. And that's just what it is. But it's all going to be short-lived, because if you have nothing of value, then people are probably going to get tired of it and say, okay, that's just really stirring up stuff and putting in too many opinions instead of telling me what the product is. So, and I don't want to lecture you too much. The video is already too long, but this is what it is. Look into what you get. If you don't like it, don't buy it. But if you're interested in dropping that type of money, then you can research what it is. And again, even if you don't know where to start, you start out by contacting the company who is marketing those, who's responsible for that product. And then again, you use the same internet as I do, and then you go out and Google stuff, and then you find technical sites, reference pages like Caliber Corner. I'm not being paid to say that. I like them. I use them a lot. And you get your information, and then you can make up your mind and see if you want to drop that money or you don't. And that's just that. Again, the haters are just upset because nobody wants stuff with their name on it. And he's doing this for decades. It's not a big deal to him. I don't think in the end even it matters if they all sell or not. He's getting still money from the licensing agreement. But I do think they will sell out. I mean, his shoes sold out, and I don't know what else he's doing. His knife set I never heard of, probably also going to sell out. I don't know. I wish him the best. And, if you would have the guts, then do it. Then if you think you can do better than this, then go do it and put yourself out there and produce a product and bring it to market. And then we see how you like the criticism, and what's really where the rubber meet the road, so to say. So it is a rant, but it's more meant to humble people and say, okay, stop, hold on a second. What do we really have? Either you're a watch enthusiast and you want to see what's out there, you're interested in what people do, or you're just a hater and say, well, I don't care what he or she does, because it has to be crap. And that's not the right thing to do. If you like watches, go look what you have, what's in front of you, and then make up your mind. So I hope I didn't put you off too much, but it's a little reality check how people can get information if they really want to. And I wish there was more content like this on YouTube and less feelings and personal opinions. With that being said, thank you so much. Be safe out there, and come November, vote accordingly.